Hi Gemini, welcome to your February bonus reading. My name is Kimberly from the Path Illuminated. If you are returning, thank you for your support. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can stay up to date on when I post new content here. As I am recording this, Gemini, it is February 17th. Tomorrow is February 18th, and that will be the start of Pisces season. A few more highlights we have this month. February 23rd, Mercury enters Pisces, and then we have the full moon in Virgo on the 24th. I'm going to pull a couple of cards from the Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck just to catch a vibe for your reading. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. This feels like a very Gemini card to me. So like definitely make sure no matter how hard you're working that you're also having fun. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. When I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. I love that energy for you, Gemini. There's a lot of healing energy here. A lot of positive vibes I'm picking up for you. Again, thank you for being here. Let's get tarot out here for you. I'm just going to give this a shuffle. I hope you're doing well, Gemini. As I always say, please trust your own judgment and discernment with regard to these readings, right? You know yourself, your life, and situation better than anyone else. And remember that you have free will. So if anything comes out in the reading, Gemini, that you're not happy with, you can always change your perspective, how you deal with a person or situation, right? We are constantly shifting the energy around us, our opportunities, based on how we engage with the world around us. If the messages resonate for you, please leave me a comment below. Let me know how this energy is showing up for you. As an energy reader, it is easier for me to pick up on the most relevant messages for you if we engage in an energy exchange. All right, let's get a couple more cards here. One more card for Gemini. All right. So, Gemini, Nine of Wands in reverse. You are being challenged at this time, Gemini, to acknowledge where and how you have been overextending yourself, where you have been doing too much, whether it's every single person is going to be different. This is a general reading, not a personal reading. If you are interested in a personal reading, click the link below. The only way to book a personal with me is via my website. Okay, Gemini, you are being challenged to let go of people-pleasing, codependency, workaholism, any situation, whatever it is for you, Gemini, where you are required to kill yourself to accomplish anything. I know you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, Gemini. You want to keep the peace. You don't want conflict. But what I'm getting is that like sometimes you can't avoid it, right? Sometimes there may be people around you that are hell-bent on drama and conflict. Now, I'm definitely picking up work here, but all of you are going to be different, right? In work environments, there is inherent competition, especially if you are whatever you're doing, right? Whether you're working for a company, running your own business, an entrepreneur, right? Like there's competition inside companies, outside competition, right? And as much as you want to keep the peace, like you are going to be required at this time to defend your success, defend your peace, and defend your accomplishments. This energy may be overwhelming right now with the sun in reverse. It may be causing some depression for you. This may be something that you're struggling with mid to the end of February, right? And it just could be a case of like, you thought, Gemini, that if you did it all, if you showed up and you gave it 150%, that you were going to be rewarded. I'm seeing here that it's really sabotaged you because you've been giving into this belief that unless you do everything for everyone, you're not going to accomplish anything. And to a certain extent, you may have been avoiding certain conversations with people because you were so afraid of hurting people's feelings or saying the wrong thing. And as much as you've been trying to keep the peace, that's not possible, right? And there might be people that you get into conflict with that you at one time cared about, respected, and that can be a really challenging situation. And I think that, you know, the rest of this month, Gemini, is about you processing that. Ace of Swords in reverse for me is like there's some kind of conversation, and Three of Pentacles in reverse that needs to be had. But I think that the rest of this month is about you actually like accepting and acknowledging that this is not working out, whatever it is. If it's work, if it's a creative project, if it's, you know, a group of friends, there's some type of, you know, unequal energy here where you've been doing everything, you've been the peacekeeper, but it's actually conflict avoidance. And no matter how much you've tried to stop drama from happening, whoever these people are, which for each of you is going to be different, right? Like you can't avoid it. And by avoiding how you feel and avoiding this conversation, you're in a bit of emotional overwhelm. You're sad about this. You don't want to be in conflict, and that's very admirable, but sometimes you just have to acknowledge that it is what it is, right? Like you can't keep giving to people that don't appreciate you, right? Like someone who has up to this point, Gemini, not appreciated your kindness, your respect, your work ethic, your friendship, if they haven't appreciated all of this time of you, you know, doing your best to keep the peace at the expense of your own emotions, they're never going to appreciate it. There's some conversation that needs to be had. I don't know if this is with a boss, with a team, with a friend. There are people that you've been investing in that do not have your best interests at heart. And the only way that they're going to stay in your reality at this time, Gemini, is if you continue to prioritize them and sabotage yourself. I'm getting this really, really clearly. So I don't know. Let me know. Is this resonating for you, Gemini? Is this something that you have been struggling with, right? Are you starting to feel that, like, sometimes it can be hard to know what's going on and, you know, what's wrong. And I often will suggest to my clients, you know, where do you feel resentment? Where do you find yourself pushing yourself to believe the good in people that have shown you over and over again that they're not worthy of the benefit of the doubt? Because the best predictor of future behavior, Gemini, is past behavior. So if your boss, if your company, if your team, if this group of friends has continued to take advantage of your kindness and your, you know, desire to keep the peace with them and to be in harmony with them, if they continue to take advantage of that, like, what are you doing, Gemini? You have to choose yourself. Of course, you're going to feel crappy if you're in a work environment where they take advantage of your kindness and your consideration. Of course, you're going to feel depressed if you feel like you can't have an honest conversation with people that you think are your good friends, right? Because they're going to get mad at you. That's pointing to something, Gemini. If there's an imbalance, whether it's work or your relationships or your friendships or family, and you're afraid to have an honest conversation about what's been going down and the situation or boundaries or things that have been done wrong to you, ask yourself why. It can come from, you know, old childhood programming where you were taught that you couldn't speak up for yourself. You weren't allowed to have boundaries. It could be, right, a toxic work environment where, like, they might say to your face, oh yeah, we care what you think, but whenever you speak up, you are reprimanded, or, you know, you get passed up for promotions and raises simply because you're being honest after they told you to be honest. It could be friends that say they care about you, but whenever you try to ask them to respect you, that, you know, they get offended because you're not supposed to have needs, right? Like, ask yourself why you're afraid of having an honest conversation, Gemini, because the wisdom is going to be found there in what actually needs to be done and addressed at this time. Yeah. Five of Wands, again, there is unavoidable conflict, right? But you can't just ignore a situation. I mean, you can, but it's going to come towards you anyway. And I see that as much as you have tried to keep the peace, it's been at your own expense. And the conflict and the drama is coming for you regardless. And you are going to be challenged to stand up for yourself. Now, I do see you, Nine of Swords in reverse, coming out of a time of overthinking. I think you've definitely been in your head. You've been like, look, these are people I've cared about. This is a job I've loved. This is a team that in the past I felt like it was good for me. You know, I'm not wanting to create conflict. And for some reason, I'm overthinking. I'm doubting myself. I'm, shaming myself for having needs. Why am I doing that? So I see you letting go of that. And I think it's just like, clearly you cannot avoid the conflict as much as you've tried. And I think because people are pushing you, again, whether it's a boss or a team or friendships, it's like, as much as you have denied speaking your truth, the drama's still coming towards you. And I think it's going to push you to a place where you're just like, nope, I've always been right. I'm not crazy. This is a toxic situation. This is a toxic job. This is a toxic team. This is a toxic company. These are toxic friends. Four of Wands. I deserve stability. I deserve reciprocity. I deserve people that are willing to work as hard at this as I am. If I am willing to put in the effort to make things work at work or in relationships, I deserve people in my life that are going to do the same. So, Hermit, you may need to take some time away, whether it is setting boundaries at work because you know things have been off and you're deciding, I'm going to leave the office at 5. I'm going to log out at 6 p.m. I'm going to take, a long weekend, or I'm going to, detach from friends. I'm going to turn down their invitations to hang out because every time we hang out, there's just drama and toxicity. And I need to get clear on how I feel. What do I need? And sometimes that's really actually what you need to do, Gemini. From my own experience, it can be like you care so much about this job or this group of friends and you spend a lot of time with them, and it can be difficult to separate how they feel from how you feel. And I think especially with the Sun in reverse card, that's the advice, is like, if you don't know how to address it and you know something's off and the energy's been off and things have not been good, but you still feel hesitant and unclear, take some time for yourself. Queen of Swords, like, you do need to come to a place of like knowing that you deserve the energy you give out. The Queen of Swords is often known as the Ice Queen. I know this has been an energy that it seems like you've been avoiding, Gemini, but I'm getting, the advice from Spirit that you're going to need to start to advocate for yourself. No one else gets to decide what your value and worth is but you, Gemini. Other people don't get to tell you if it's okay for you to have a certain boundary. No one gets to tell you if you deserve, to be treated fairly, because you do. So you're going to have to get comfortable with the conflict because, again, no matter how much you've been denying it and avoiding it for the sake of keeping the peace, not only have you put yourself in a place of, feeling depressed, feeling suppressed, feeling silenced, but you are surrounded by people that are taking advantage of that. And it's time for you to advocate for yourself. It's time for you to speak your truth. It's time for you to cut people and situations off that are only going to continue to take advantage of the energy that you're bringing. And I do see you coming to this place of clarity after some time in hermit mode. And like, obviously timelines are different. Everyone's going to be slightly different in their timeline. If this is resonating for you, Gemini, please leave me a comment below. Let me know that you're ready to stand up for yourself. You're willing. And look, Queen of Wands. And again, there's no gender in tarot, right? Like, this is just an energy, but this is like a very balanced energy of like, you are clear and you're starting to find your fire again after a time of feeling silenced, feeling suppressed, feeling depressed, feeling like you can't be yourself because everyone else is a priority but you. It's like you taking that time to acknowledge this in hermit mode and to feel your feelings. You're going to start to feel the clarity and the confidence to speak your truth and to stand alone in the process. Why do you, it's like, what's that saying? Who needs enemies with friends like this? That's what I'm getting. You need to be your own best friend, Gemini, because no one else is going to advocate for you unless you advocate for yourself. So I'm definitely, feeling like this is a time for you to lean into this hermit mode. It's going to help you through this is really challenging energy, Gemini. And look, I want to give you credit. This is something I've said to my clients many times. When people take advantage of you, your kindness, your work ethic, your consideration, your compassion, whatever it is, right? Don't look at it like, is there something wrong with me? No. That's a beautiful trait to have, Gemini. If you care about people, if you don't like drama, you want to bring peace to the situation, you want to bring camaraderie, you want to bring teamwork, right? But when people take advantage of that, that's on them, Gemini. That's not on you. You need to celebrate that your intentions were actually good, right? But these people took advantage of your good nature, and you actually need to get upset about that. That's with this Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands, you need to get upset about that. Eight of Wands, you will start to feel momentum forward. The energy will start to lift after a period of feeling very overwhelmed emotionally and mentally with this situation. Princess of Pentacles, this is a new way for you to work. This is a new way for you to be, whether it's in business, whether it's at a job, or whether it's with friends. This is like you knowing your worth and stepping into this place of no longer being afraid to speak your truth, to own your value, to know how beautiful and deserving you are of all good things, and especially the energy that you're willing to give out. If you are willing to keep the peace and to be considerate of other people and how, your energy, your communication, how you show up impacts other people, again, Gemini, like you need to be willing to walk away from all the people that take advantage of that, all the people that, take advantage of your good nature, the hard work that you're willing to put in to make a job or a friendship work. Princess of Cups, again, for me, this is like always a card of tapping into the wisdom of your emotions and acknowledging the truth. The turtle in this card represents truth. It's like, it's not always easy to acknowledge the truth, especially if, like, again, if this is a job that you've invested a lot of time and energy into, but you've been taken advantage of and you've been exploited. If this is a friend group that has taken advantage of you keeping the peace, right? And they are using that against you to get what they want. It's like, feel your feelings about it, Gemini. Like that's going to bring clarity when you're like, you know what, this is not right. I do deserve a job or friends who are going to bring me stability. Four of Pentacles. It's like you have everything that you need to build stability in your life, whether it's at work, whether it's in relationships, Gemini. But like, until you acknowledge the fact that you've been in this deep place of overwhelm, of depression, and it's because you've wanted to make things work with other people that they don't appreciate you or what you bring to the table. It's your job now to separate yourself from this situation, from these people, feel your feelings, and find that energy within you to say, no more. I'm done with this. I don't care what these people think because they don't care, right? It's like if you've done everything right, if you've been good-hearted, if you've given people the benefit of the doubt and grace over and over and over again, and they continue to violate your boundaries, take advantage of you, exploit you, and manipulate you, like stop, Gemini. You don't have to do this. Choose yourself, Gemini. All right, Gemini, I'm going to leave the messages there. If they resonate, please leave me a comment below. If you are interested in a personal reading, click the link below. The only way to book a personal with me is via my website. I won't ever reach out to you directly to consider or solicit you for a reading, so please do keep that in mind. I am going to close this reading out with a card from the Messages from the Spirits of Nature Oracle deck. Spirit, what final messages do you have for my Gemini friends? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, y'all. All right. We have card number 4, Cave, Initiation. Again, 4 is a card of stability. All right. Here we go, Gemini. Although at times you have felt overwhelmed by the darker period you have experienced recently, this very challenging cycle has created the opportunity to confront and embrace those inner demons, the shadowy elements in yourself that have been hiding behind the mask of your practice persona. The task of acknowledging these shadows without shame or self-criticism has continued throughout this period, and now you have a greater capacity to be aware of them and know that they no longer hold power over you. Having met and overcome these darker forces, you are now emerging into the world of light, significantly changed. You have been rebirthed into another cycle of your life, one of even greater spiritual depth and conscious awareness. This initiation that you've gone through to this present phase has led you to a greater appreciation and awareness of how spirit operates. You know you are supported with an abundance of compassionate spirit guides, signs, and omens, and they are critically important in your renewed commitment to lead a spiritually directed life. For me, this cave energy, you're going to find this and tap into this when you go into hermit mode, Gemini. Separate yourself from these friends, from this job, so that you can get clear on what's been going on and the people that have been taking advantage of your good nature. You deserve everything that you give out, Gemini. I hope these messages resonated for you. I will see you next time. Bye.